Some quality parking going on. I don't know what they're trying to do. You need to reverse. You're not going to drive that in. Oh dear, look at the state. Flapping hands like it's everybody else's fault. Oh, she's losing her mind though. Well, that's us done for day one. Just heading out on day two. Just leaving Berwick upon Tweed. And you won't be surprised to hear that we overdid it a bit last night. We went out for something to eat, a few pints, stumbled across another bar on the way home, and probably had a few too many in there. It wasn't a late one. I think we were in bed for 11, but we certainly managed to pack a few pints in. So feeling a little bit worse for wear this morning, but we've had a breakfast in the hostel and we are on the road and we're heading up to, well, towards Glencoe today. Mike's booked a hostel at Glencoe. So my sat nav saying 175 miles, 4.5-ish hours. I think we might take a bit more of a scenic route than that. So it could be close to 5.5 hours, I think, with a couple of stop-offs here and there. But yeah, all good so far. Enjoyable first day's ride. Yesterday, some absolutely fantastic roads. A very fun evening last night in the Boozer, with a nice bit of scran and a good few pints, and then a half decent night's kip in the youth hostel. I am too old though, way too old, to be sleeping on the top bunk of a set of bunk beds. I think that's the only time I'll have to do that on this trip, because climbing down the ladder at 53 years of age in your underpants is a sight nobody wants to see, let's be honest. So yeah, time to settle in. Long ride ahead of us today. I'm looking forward to some more top-notch roads and some amazing scenery. So a bit of a change in fortune so far today. We set off from the hostel this morning, a good few hours ago now. We were again dodging the rain. It was all looking half decent. And then, as tends to happen when you cross the border, we got an absolute drenching, a complete downpour. It was emergency pulling, chucked the wet gear on as quick as we could. And obviously from that point on, the sun came back out, dried up, but we've been having heavy rain and sun and heavy rain and sun for probably the last hour or so. So we've given, stopped off, had a bit of food and a drink, and got back on the road. The wets are still on, as you can see, but hopefully the worst of it will stay off. So we're an hour and 13 away, 48 miles or so from our next stop, which is going to be the Green Welly Cafe up at the top of north of Loch Lomond. So the plan is to take the A82 up the side of Loch Lomond, which is a beautiful road. Maybe have a couple of stop-offs for a couple of photographs, and then we'll head up to the Green Welly and maybe have a brew there. That'll be the last stop of the day, and then onto the hostel in Glencoe tonight. So I suppose we can't complain too much though. Yes, we've been caught out in a couple of heavy downpours today, but it's not like it's rained all day long relentlessly. We have had a good few dry spells, and the sun has broke through the cloud once or twice. But yeah, we are a little bit on the moist side, shall we say. And unfortunately, with me being a bit of an idiot, we failed to record some of the best roads we've been on today. We had about a 10-mile stretch of absolutely fantastic roads. I was chatting away into the camera whilst filming, and then realised the camera was not on video mode, it was on camera mode, so total waste of time. Well, away we go for day 3. We're just leaving the Glencoe Youth Hostel. Pretty quiet one last night. Then I wandered down to the pub about a mile down this road. Couple of pints, bit of food, and then I walked back to the hostel on a pretty early night. We didn't film too much yesterday because the weather was well, mixed is probably how you'd sum it up. Unlike today, the beautiful sun shining. It is forecast rain again today, but we'll see how we get on. But yesterday we got caught a few times in a bit of rain here and there. Look at the views, wow. Got caught a few times in the rain, but it wasn't too bad. And then the last 7 or 8 miles on the run into the youth hostel was absolutely just completely appalling. I haven't ridden in weather like that for a long time. You wouldn't believe it was the middle of June. It was absolute monsoon season. Couldn't see a thing from the visor. Totally fogged up. The rain was torrential. The wind was howling. I was hanging onto Mike's tail light at the front, and he was hanging onto a car in front of him. Couldn't see a bloody thing. So as soon as we got to hostel, we had to dump all the gear in the drying room. I'll tell you what, this view looks an awful lot better in the sun than it did last night. Dump all the stuff in the drying room and hope for the best, really. So we're reasonably refreshed this morning. There's the booze we were in last night. Fairly refreshed this morning. Because the amazing road, the A82 I think it might be, I'm not sure, that comes through Glencoe, we just couldn't see anything last night. Couldn't see the scenery, couldn't see the mountains, nothing. So we're going to head back today, go back the same route, so at least we can get to see these stunning views in the better weather. And then I think we're going to head down to the Green Welly stop, where we had a little stop off yesterday, refuel, maybe have a brew there. And then we're going to take a bit of a circular magical mystery tour route to the Isle of Skye. We were planning on taking the road bridge to Skye, but I think we're now going to take the ferry, just more for novelty factor than anything else. What an absolutely beautiful morning. How can 2 days or 12 hours be so different? When we came here 12, 13, 14 hours ago, you couldn't even see that river. The rain was so bad and the mist was so low, and now it's absolutely stunning. What a part of the world this is. Oh, we got an impromptu stop here. Just realised my heated grips are still on full from last night. That's how bad it was. Middle of June, and I'm having to have the heated grips on full so they can go off. What an incredible place. Absolutely stunning. I think this is only the second time I've ever been up here. Came up a few years ago with the with Mrs. Sutton Moto and the kids in the camper van, but I've never ridden up here. My word, it is amazing. And with a bit of luck, we'll be early enough to miss the hordes of coaches driving up full of Japanese and American tourists. I am so very, very happy to see the sun today. I think spirits were pretty low when we got to the hostel yesterday. We were all feeling a bit miserable. It been a long day in the saddle. We've probably been out for, I don't know, 7 hours maybe. It was a long old day, and to finish with an absolute drenching was not ideal. But this good night's sleep, a night not off the booze but being very sensible with the booze, and a bit of sun the next day certainly lifts the spirits.